This video may be slightly counterintuitive, but hear me out on this one, please.
So you say you were natty at first. Did you ever experimented or wanted to experiment with like any enhancements?
Yeah, like after I moved to Miami and stuff like that, you know.
Now, social media is 100% a cesspit. Everyone is fighting for your attention because think about it, right? You're literally scrolling like 50 trillion, like average screen time. I literally looked the other day, my average screen time is crazy, but think about it. We're spending so much time on social media. Everyone is trying to get your attention so that you stay on their reel, giving them engagement, boosting their page, basically. And the gym niche of social media is no different. Literally no different at all. Everyone is fighting for your attention, whether it be someone making a skit, whether it be someone giving you advice, whether it be someone talking about gear, whether it be someone talking about bodybuilding, or whatever niche of the gym there is, if that makes sense, or that you're into, someone is trying to get your attention. And there are many ways in which people try to get your attention, tried and true methods which work almost every time. And one of them is steroid use or lying about steroid use, which makes it very obvious. And then people basically comment on your page, that boosts your post. And then, of course, people then start talking about you a lot, which gets you in the algorithm because you're lying about your natural status, basically. It's something that's happened ever since probably social media literally started. People lying about their gear usage, natural or not, being one of the biggest themes or biggest subjects in fitness. And in this video, I actually want to go through a prime example of this, a man named Vincent. And I also want to go over how he ended up admitting it anyway. He literally admitted it and exposed himself anyway. So stay tuned for that. But first, here's a word from someone that we all know.
I would recommend to all of you, subscribe to Cal today and watch this young man keep bringing you the bangers.
Now, if you've looked at social media at all recently, whether it be Instagram or TikTok, I'm sure you've seen this man's face and a bunch of his stupid reels like this.
You're telling me you swam through thousands of sperm cells, you slipped through a hole in a broken condom to be average? To not want more? Thousands of sperm cells.
Thousands of sperm cells.
He's one of these sort of stereotypical, like, self-help, I'm friggin' rich and you're not type people, right? He flexes his cars, he flexes his physique, his penthouse, the fact that he's in Miami. Basically cut and paste every single one of these people. They all do the same thing, if that makes sense. Like, we've seen this a million times before. But of course, not all of them lie about their natural status because not all of them are into fitness. They're more into making money. But of course, this guy fits into the category of talking about fitness, which has sparked up many people to talk about him, especially in the fitness industry. And one of the main guys was Johnny Bravo. I don't really know how you say his name, to be honest. I just call him John Bravo because that's his handle. And he exposed him for many things in regard to renting where he lives, where he keeps bragging about all of this stuff, but as well as talking about performance enhancers. And we will get onto that in a moment. But mate,
I went and I got the address for the place and I looked it up and I found an old Zillow listing, right? But something was very interesting in this Zillow listing. If you guys take a look here at all these pictures, notice something. Look at the decorations, look at the furniture, look at everything. It's the exact same setup, right? That this asshole's using when he's filming his videos, but this listing is years old. So what's the story of it? So I took it even further. I went to the tax website on the address of the house, and lo and behold, he's not the owner of it, right?
However, I don't want to talk about his penthouse in Miami. I want to talk more about his fitness grift, if that makes sense, and his sort of realm, or his pursuit in the realm of fitness. In almost all of his videos, I'm pretty sure he's wearing a flipping Gymshark stringer, trying to be David Lade or something like that. And a recent short of mine, I literally called him light-skinned David Lade. Yo, light-skinned David Lade, that's crazy, bro. Had the maddest transformation in 11 months. And he did it all naturally. That's so mad. Oh, wait, what? And like many people, he sold fitness plans in the past, or he's resold fitness plans, because what many of these guys do, I'm sure, is they don't even make their freaking fitness plan. They literally like are a funnel to some sort of greater algorithm, or like I've heard people talk about like stories of, you know, you sign up for the coaching, you talk to the influencer, and then as soon as you're on board, you then talk to a call center in freaking like India or something. Now, the main thing that got me interested in this guy was this video that went super viral of him recently, where he was basically talking about how he was skinny and all you need to do is eat more, and how he had this transformation in the span of 11 months. And of course, in the caption, he had to include that he was natural.
$1 million.
I think this is sort of like a staple of all of these guys. They have to just include that they're natural, again, for engagement bait, because people are going to be like, no way you're natural, you're whatever. Because this guy's super tall as well, which means it takes you quite a lot longer to fill out in your physique. You're not going to have a crazy transformation like someone would if they're like 5'2", 5'3", because of course these guys who are shorter have great transformations in quite a short period of time because they fill out a lot quicker. Their muscle bellies are shorter, their limbs are shorter. It's just how it is, and it is unfortunate. But for the taller guys, including Vincent here, I think he's like 6'7". Don't worry, I think he's like that high. I didn't mean to. Anyway, it's just going to take a lot longer for him to fill out. And so what did he use? Well, nothing, according to him. However, he literally exposed himself 2 seconds later on a podcast.
So you say you were natty at first. Did you ever experimented or wanted to experiment with like any enhancements?
Yeah. Like after I moved to Miami and stuff like that, play around with stuff. I guess I'm not involved with all and stuff. Anyways, I got up to like 220 during that time. But what happened was I had health issues. And then on top of that, my psychological wasn't on point, where I'm like crashing out and I'm like started arguments. I wasn't being the stoic person I am. And then I kind of removed myself from that. That's another reason, I've never said this on camera, but that's why I stopped strict reselling fitness programs.
So yeah, he literally just exposed that he was on gear previously and he used that to sell fitness programs. I think I've seen many people do that before, right? Lie about natural status, sell fitness programs. Yeah, it is what it is. That is kind of a plague across the social media industry, but it's never going to get better. That being said, he kind of goes into a little bit about his side effects there, talking about the health issues that he had. I guarantee he's probably talking about perhaps the cardiovascular issues, perhaps the liver toxicity. We don't exactly know what he's on or what he was taking, but of course he's going to probably have androgenic side effects as well. Like he probably would have had oily skin, he could have perhaps had a bit of hair loss, we're not entirely sure, but we do know for sure that he was having mood swings, short temper, all of these things. Again, these are androgenic side effects. It's going to increase or decrease your temper, if that makes sense, and make you very narrow-minded at times. This guy's actually quite young. I think he's like 22 or 23, so of course his brain hasn't fully developed. It's going to affect his stuff like his frontal lobe and decision-making and impulse control. And of course, that's literally what he alluded to there, saying that it's affecting his stoicism, if that makes sense. He's not his stoic self.
My psychological wasn't on point, where I'm like crashing out and I'm like started arguments. I wasn't being the stoic person I am.
So yeah, he's getting those androgenic side effects. And I'm sure that those are sort of the main things that he was taking was testosterone and perhaps other few compounds. Not entirely sure though. Now, doesn't that demonstrate what I referred to you earlier? Engagement baiting, fighting for your attention. Because for instance, if you were literally just to scroll through that then, scroll through your For You page on that video where he was talking about his transformation, and he literally said, oh, this is my transformation over like 5 years, guys, natural. It would have gotten something perhaps, but not as, hardly any as much as what he actually got on that initial post, because of course he talked about him being natural. He talked about, just eat more if you're skinny, and the time frame in which he did it was 11 months. It's very drastic. He put on size and he stayed lean. I wonder how you do that. And so literally he's just playing the algorithm to do this stuff.
And it was funny because I tried everything, right? I tried like the reselling, the day trading, the drop shipping. None of them worked. I realized with all these business models, they weren't just getting rich from doing the thing. They were getting rich selling coaching around it. So I had to beat a bunch of people asking me at the time, like, yo, what's your workout routine? What do you do? What's your split? And then I remember I was like looking at my bank account. It was like negative $50. I'm staying on a mattress on the floor in my brother's apartment. My mom like sent me out. And I was just like, you know what? I made a copy and paste text. I was like, workout routine, meal plans, diet plan, $20. And I'd like copy and paste, send it to all the DMs. And then one person jumped. One person was like, yo, what's your Cash App? I was like, yo, here. I started doing that for a little bit. I made my first a couple tens of thousands from that, but I took everything I had at the time and I invested into a mentor who we talked about who taught me high ticket.
Now you may be wondering why at the start of this video I said that this video could be perhaps counterintuitive. And the reason I said that is because basically everything that this guy does, from my observation, as well as other things that other people do as well through social media, is literally just for engagement and content. They want your attention. And so in making this video, I'm kind of serving his sort of like agenda. He wants attention and therefore I'm kind of giving him attention. So maybe I'm kind of wrong for making this video, but I don't know, it's something to point out, I guess, because again, a lot of what these guys do is for attention.
Thousands of sperm cells.
Thousands of sperm cells.
There's a funnel that people use through social media, and it's becoming more and more prevalent nowadays. I'm sure once you go through social media, you look through guys' pages, you look through their content, they do the same things all of the time. You know what I mean by this? When I say that they usually have very provocative type content. They do stuff which is going to provoke engagement, provoke perhaps a reaction from you, which makes you want to like, share, repost it, or perhaps comment, because of course you can flip and repost on Instagram now. That's going to boost their content even more in the algorithm. Now, the thing is there's a funnel to it. So you may see that initial post, whether you engage with it, even if you just view it, that's going to boost it in some way. But then of course you could go to their page, look at their other content. You could look at the link in their bio, or you could DM them for coaching. Then of course you do one-on-one coaching. It could not be with them, or it could be with one of their mates or something like this, or some ChatGPT freaking coaching or something like that. The point I'm trying to make is there's a funnel to it. Very provocative content, and then of course it goes down into them getting the sale, whether it be a sort of like low tier sale of, you know, when they sell like PDFs of getting in shape or whatever, like he said, reselling fitness programs, or of course higher tier or higher ticket sales in sort of perhaps getting you on a coaching program or mentorship type thing. All of it is for the funnel, and many people actually fake their lifestyle. As funny enough, John Bravo went over in his video talking about how he has perhaps rented cars, rented house, stuff like that, as well as of course his physique being not natural.
For all we know, it's rented out for movie shoots, photo shoots, pictures, because I spoke to the neighbors there. And they said they only see him there once in a while. So what's the real story? We don't know. But we do know that the asshole's renting the place. So that got me thinking. I'm like, if he's renting this place pretending he's owner, right? What about that Russian sharmuta over there? Who says he didn't order that in the mail? What about all those cars he drives, right?
All of it is kind of fake to give you the facade that he knows what he's doing, therefore he can sell you the product. That is the product that gives him the money, is the course that he sells you. In a way, you're the product. And that's why he just wants attention. This video may be counterintuitive in a way, but I think it's interesting to talk about nonetheless, because of course you see these guys all over the place, and I don't think they have some cohesion when it comes to their content. They say they're natural somewhere, and then somewhere else they say that they're not. It literally cooks your head friggin' so much, but at the end of the day, these guys are going to keep coming, like, you know it is.